Brian Wall here with worshiptutorials.com. I've got a gear review for you today. A lot of you have asked me about my acoustic guitar setup. Now, this is the guitar that I play most of the time. I do have another acoustic guitar. It is a Takamine, but I don't really play that one nearly as much as this. And this is a Martin D35. I have a review of this Martin D35, so if you would like, please do go check that one out. I really love this guitar. This review is for one, the pickups inside of this Martin, and this is my Ultrasound DI Plus preamp that I always play this guitar through. If you listen to any of my videos that are like the performance videos, so you can see how I play the songs, in the last several years, all of them are through this guy and the pickups that I have installed in here. So first I'll talk about the pickups. So the pickups are K&K Pure Western Mini pickups. I will probably put a picture of those up, and there will be a link below where you can buy them. They're really inexpensive pickups. This Martin does not come with pickups installed in it, and so I had to put whatever I could find, and I had the luxury of shopping around and picking what I wanted. Now the K&K Pure Western Mini pickups are transducer pickups. I think that's right. Anyway, what you usually get in an acoustic guitar is what's called a piezo pickup, and it sits right underneath the saddle. And I think they sound terrible. They sound really quacky, and that's usually the word that you hear described about piezo pickups. Now some of them are good. Don't get me wrong. There are some good piezo pickups out there, but the pickup system that I have, this K&K Pure Western Mini, is a completely different style. It's a lot more like what Taylor does on their Expression system. And so it's actually 3 microphones that are glued to the bottom of the bridge underneath. They're just glued to the wood, glued underneath the bridge. And I had a friend help me install this, so we put this in together. And they come, basically all you have are the 3 pickup leads that you glue in, and then a wire that goes to the output jack. And that's it. So there is a little bit of installation involved. If you decide to go with these, and I do highly recommend them, it might be a good idea to have somebody install them for you, but seriously, they're cheap enough that they're well under $100 for this pickup system, that you could probably get somebody to install them for you, and you're still not going to pay that much money. Now, because they are transducer pickups that mount to the body itself, it picks up everything. So you can tap on your guitar. If you've played a Taylor before, you might notice this about a Taylor, like it just picks everything up. And it all comes through the PA. So they are a little bit prone to feedback. They sound much more natural, but they're prone to feedback. So I have here it is. I have a feedback buster that I play, that anytime I play plugged in, I use this guy, and it basically stops sound. Really what you're doing is stopping sound from going into the sound hole, because that goes in, it hits those pickups, it comes out, and you just create this feedback loop, which is no good. So if you're playing plugged in, you're not going to hear the acoustic tone anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So you can buy these little guys. It's called a feedback buster. They are pretty cheap, and I recommend using it, especially if you use a pickup system like this that I have in the guitar. So these pickups are passive. One thing I love about it is I never have to worry about a battery in my guitar. My old Takamine eats batteries like you wouldn't believe. So they are passive. They actually have a decent amount of output, so you can just run it straight into a board, and it doesn't sound bad. But I bought this preamp to go with it, and this guy retails for like around $100, maybe a little more. There are several competitors to this that are pretty popular. The LR Bags has one that's really popular. I can't remember the name of it right now. But I really liked this. I had a chance to play through it before I bought it, and I thought it sounded great. a couple things about this guy that's really cool. It gets, so you have to either power it right here. There's a 9-volt power input. You can power it via battery, or this is what I do almost every single time. I just run it to the board via this XLR out, and it will take 48-volt phantom power. So if you can send it 48-volt phantom power from your board, it powers it. You don't have to worry about batteries, and that's what I do. So you can go out via XLR or 1/4-inch line out. It has a notch filter, so if you are getting some really nasty feedback, you can turn the notch filter on, and you can filter between 100 Hertz and 350 Hertz, which is very low end. So it's usually that low end feedback that you get. You can find it and you can kill it. You have an input gain, and then you have your level out, and you have separate level for XLR and line out. And then you have what's called you have a phase, in or out, and then you have what they call shape. It's basically an EQ. You have a bass and a treble EQ. You can turn it off or you can turn it on. I almost always use it on, and for this particular guitar, this Martin is very kind of bass, mid-range heavy, and so I roll the bass off and I boost the treble a little bit. I'd say I'd run it right about there, maybe 1030 and 130. And that's pretty much my setup. And I run this straight into the board, and I've had lots of sound people compliment me and say that this acoustic tone is very good. It's very natural. It's very easy to sit it in the mix, which is a big deal. And so I recommend it. Ultrasound DI Plus preamp and K&K Pure Western Mini pickups in the guitar.